Peter McGann. Welcome to Under the Grill with myself and Kevin Dundon.
Very welcome.
Very much.
Yeah.
Cheers.
It's a beautiful morning here in Dunleary and we have seafood chowder, which you chose, and a nice crisp white wine.
It was interesting because you've chosen seafood chowder, which I love, and in the sourdough bread bowl. Where did that come from? Because I'll tell you where I first came across
Where it came from for me, and I just want to quickly preface this by saying I told my brothers what I was doing, and they were like, Mom and Dad are going to be so angry with you because this is one of their recipes, and they are amazing cooks. So I just want to go on record now and say both my parents are amazing cooks, and we had great meals growing up. But this was just past my childhood now. I was in college in Galway.
Yeah,
and I did nightclub promotion for a nightclub in town, which meant just literally working nights, staying up all night and then sleeping all day and then going to work. And one of the things they had us doing, the Volvo Ocean Race was on that year, that summer. So they'd send us down to the docks where the race was happening, flying for the nightclub.
Yeah.
So what you do is you just go down, thank you, look at that. Look at that. You just chuck the flyers in the bin and then you just hang around there having a few drinks. And something that I got every single day when I was down there was a stall that did seafood chowder in a bread bowl, and as far as I was concerned, it was the best thing I ever had in my life.
Lovely.
And I haven't had it since. So this seemed like a way to
to get back in there.
Get back, yeah.
And can you remember how much it was? Remember, because you were a student.
I was a student, and I was working. You were working so much. You were working basically every day, but it was so it was like easy come, easy go. So I doubt it was too much then. This was like
Thank you very much.
2000
Beautiful.
I don't know, 18 or something.
So this is a good childhood memory.
This is a great.
He was actually a
You're only a
child.
kid.
I was only a young child going around with a plastic pint in my hand.
And it smells gorgeous. That
really
smell
does.
that
Oh my
brings you
God.
on holidays, or in your case, a kind of holiday.
Kind of. Well, it was. I still look back at it as the best summer of my life. I was chasing after the girl that ended up with my wife. She was working for another nightclub, and I was just out on time. And I was just, like I was paying 50 quid a week in rent, I remember, and it was just the best. I was just very nostalgic for that time, and this is a big, huge part of it.
And what was the nightclub you were working for?
It was it was the GPO, and then it became Carbon. I think at the time it might have been Carbon. Maybe it was still GPO. They changed names as they want to do, and it's not there anymore.
Oh yeah, and your wife, your now wife, you were chasing her.
She worked for Cuba, which also isn't there anymore, I don't think. So
Yeah.
they all fell.
Yeah, but you're certainly there, and you have a little girl, don't you?
We do indeed.
Yeah. What's her name?
Sophie.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
I was going to say she's called Galway.
She's called Galway. No, she's called Chowder.
Peter's dying to get into this.
Oh my God.
I want to try this.
I first came across the chowder in the bread bowl in San Francisco. San Francisco sourdough bread, and they're famous for seafood chowder over there. Although seafood chowder is really from Boston, but I always remember being there with Catherine, my wife, not at the time, so I was chasing her as well at the time. But we were in San Francisco, and remember going here and having a bowl of that, and it was fantastic. But
How did you make this?
basically, the trick is with seafood chowder is a combination of smoked fish, shellfish, and fresh fish.
Yes.
Really what you want. And it's all about building layers of flavour. So you start off with your carrots and your onions in your pot with a little bit of butter, put in your smoked fish, so the smokiness is going to come through.
Yeah.
And then you add your white wine, let that reduce down a bit. And then I add in, and it's all about slow cooking and fast. But slow and fast, it kind of doesn't really make sense.
Right.
But slow as in you're not vigorously stirring the pot, because if you do that, you'll break up the fish. So you put in your wine, cut up your fish, put it in, and then your shellfish, cream, let it reduce down, a little bit of pepper. You can finish off a little bit of butter, which is great, and that's it. If you look at a Manhattan chowder, that's a broth. So it's tomato-based broth chowder, which is equally delicious as well. And so you see that like that, and that kind of comes from Marseille, a bouillabaisse. So when the French went to America, they brought these recipes with them, and then they kind of evolved into these creamy chowders and stuff like that. But bouillabaisse is a fisherman's broth that basically, when the lads went out fishing, they still do it today, they're out fishing on the trawlers off the coast of France, and they're just like picking up whatever fish is going and into a pot, bubbling away at the bottom of the boat with a little bit of saffron. And then they serve it with some crispy bread, some baguettes, and usually oli, which is a garlic mayonnaise with saffron in it.
Beautiful.
On it, it's delicious.
Oh my
So
God,
that's kind of
amazing.
the history of seafood chowder, really. So
And what about making the bowl? Like the bowl can't be easy to make, the bread bowl.
yeah, so that's a sourdough recipe, and then it's made into a ball and then proofed and then baked in the oven. And the trick is that when it goes into the oven, you spray with a bit of water so to get that lovely thick crust, because you want the crust, because you don't want the cheddar to seep out of the bowl. But it's cool.
So Peter, are you a foodie at all? Are you yourself and your wife?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A foodie. Somebody think foodie makes me sound like
Yeah,
I know what I'm talking
we're
about.
pretentious, yeah, but
no, just like that. I know I can identify this, that, the other. But no, both of us love food, and we'll have our relationship predicate on that. And I like it. So I spend a lot of time thinking about food, and looking at recipes. I'll never attempt out of fear, but I love it. I love food now. Yeah.
But you're saying your mum and dad are great cooks.
They both are, yeah. And like my dad in recent years got the big green egg, and
Did he?
yeah, so
Brilliant.
he's like
Good piece of kit.
he always loved it. I
Yeah.
love cooking, but he's like a man possessed with it. Like he'd make his cornflakes in the morning if he could. Like he's just anything, and like homemade pizzas and stuff like that. So we whenever I go down there now, you're guaranteed something good to eat. And so it was always from day one, like food was a big part of the life, and like from the most traditional things to something a bit out there. And
But there's one dish that your dad cooks that springs to mind to your head.
I'd say the homemade pizzas. He started making them in the oven at home, and then he switched to the egg, and there was just something about them, and he'd be using like herbs and stuff from the garden or vegetables and stuff like that. And so it felt very homely, but like so fresh. There was nothing fresh. An old pizza that's kind of
And there's lovely
reached
crust
that.
on that too from
so
green
nice,
eggs. So.
yeah. That's the one that springs to mind.
And your mum?
Mom, she'd be making anything and everything. She used to make an amazing shepherd's pie with a big crust of cheese on top, which
Really?
she hasn't made that since we were kids. I'd love to go there. I'd say to her. And also she makes an amazing apple tart, which is probably my
Is
favorite.
that an apple tart on a plate, or is it like a traditional
A traditional apple tart in a dish, like it's
with custard or
amazing.
ice cream or cream?
I'm not a big custard lad. Cream, I like a bit of cream, maybe a bit of ice cream, but I like it just by itself. Or the next day, like even cold with a cup of tea or coffee.
Cold is delicious, isn't it?
yeah, my mother made an apple tart at the weekend, and I eat it as if it's not, as if I'm not indulging, because I feel all that apple and it's freshly homemade, and I think I must have ate the whole lot except for one slice. It went to somebody else. I ate the whole lot over 2 days. I just keep going by and
So
taking a
easy.
little.
Isn't that mad? Like,
Yeah.
when it's the apple tart's on a plate, I'll just have a little slither.
Yeah,
You walk by and eat it. You go to sit there and you go, I'll just go back for a little bit more.
It's just the best. And my dad makes this pavlov. It's my granny's recipe that he makes, but he recently we've geese back in Wicklow, and he started using goose eggs for the pavlova, and it lifted
Really?
it up another
Did it?
level.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Oh, is it? Because I don't like goose eggs. Well,
I
maybe the
love them now.
pavlova. Do you?
Yeah.
Very
What does he do
strong,
with the
aren't they?
yolks?
What does he do? I don't know what he does with the yolks. I'll ask him.
Does he make a mayonnaise or something like that? Or?
Do you know what? He's only ever once made aioli, which I'd never heard of before, and it was the Ballymaloo. He went to do the Ballymaloo course, like the short crash
Did he?
course
Fair
version
play
of
to
it. Yeah, he loved it. And down there, he made this aioli and brought it back. And as I always say, we were eating it like yogurt. It was that good. Like I could not anything you could spread it on, you'd be spreading.
That was the most expensive. I love
Yeah,
it.
I know. And we were just like, yeah, give me that. And he hasn't made it since for some reason. But so get back on that if you're listening to.
What about cooking at home? You and your missus, do you have a favourite dish?
The go-to thing, say in the evening or something, if we're not we don't have the time, whatever. We love like the one that fails safe, even if we're hungover, and it's like even sometimes it pips a takeaway.
Yeah.
It's just like pasta pesto, like there's something like that. Like love it. But we do this thing. We just call it pasta dinner, but it's like literally pesto cream, red pesto cream, olives, sun-dried tomatoes, chorizo, And that's like like goat's cheese. And that's like, it's just this simple, but like
Divine.
complete, like
All the flavors are there.
everything in there. But in terms of like, yeah, we cook a lot of Thai curry and Italian is my all-time favorite. So Gemma got me a book, like pasta recipes. So I try and work through that, like, and try and improve on things and got like.
Are you tomato based or cream based?
Tomato, look, it depends really. If I'm making something mushroomy, it'd be cream. But then, obviously, like an amatriciana or something like that. It depends on what it is. But generally, tomato is like, because you just get that like flavor. It's like kind of punch of.
And it's healthier, a little bit healthier, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
Tomato, you know, like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it's all healthy. It's all
okay. It's all homemade.
Food,
It's all homemade.
Yeah.
It's like as long as it's not processed. I think if you stick away from the processed stuff, you're fine.
Yeah. And you love Italian food, and you're an Italian fan all over, aren't you?
I think, I am. Big time.
Said you'd love to have dinner with Martin Scorsese recently. He's 82 now, so you better send him that letter.
I know.
Send him that letter.
Send him an email, yeah.
You're very friendly with Kevin McGann.
I am.
Yeah, how's that friendship come about?
Kevin was hosting Republic of Telly at the time, and I'd made a lot of online shorts and sketches and stuff just by myself, whatever. And Fergal Costello, who was directing Republic of Telly at the time, I knew him a little bit, and he was a fan of some of the stuff I did. So he's like, I'm going to get you in here to some sketches just as a performer. And just me and Kevin, from the second we worked together, we got on famously. On screen, we had like great chemistry, like the improvising together. And we just, off screen, we had a lot of the same interests, a lot of the same references. And, you know, we're close in age and that. So we just, it just forged a bond. And like Kevin kept getting me back in and in and in and in. Yeah. And now, like, I'm sitting here with you guys. Like, it is a very, like, Kev and Ferg have a lot to thank them for in that regard.
Yeah. You could describe yourself as a WhatsApp comedian.
Yeah. WhatsApp. You don't know who my name or you haven't seen anything I've done, but every couple of weeks I'll show up in a group chat that you're in. Just my little face in a vertical format, and then you might not watch it. But you'll react to it. Yeah. Well, so I'm like, there's a group chat. There's a few of us. It's like myself and then much more successful people like Killian Sunderman and Tony Cantwell. That's why I rate and Emma Dorn.
You weren't really into that before, but in COVID, you just went for it.
COVID, it was, So I was always I thought of myself as better than that. Yeah. And then COVID happened and I started doing it because everything gained traction in the first lockdown. Yeah. So a few of my sketches did well.
They went viral, didn't they?
They did a bit, yeah. The odd one or two did. And then we were off to the races. Then I was like, okay, this is... So I was like, I had to find a way to make the sketches where I could feel happy with myself and I was making something that I would want to watch, but also, you know...
Enjoy doing as well.
Exactly, yeah. So that's the
and how does that, like, when you're lying in bed, you come up with ideas, or do you have an office type, or how do you do it? Do you go and sit down? Or?
Yeah, a lot of it is just sitting in front of the blank screen. And kind of forcing something out and acknowledging the fact it's going to be probably crap initially. Yeah. And not to be afraid of that, not to be kind of, some would say it's crap up until the very end, but you kind of have to just be like, look, you can, as long as you have a lump of clay there, you can shape it, you can chop and change. And it doesn't necessarily, you just need something to kind of get you.
But a bit of success is usually encouraging and make you do it again, make you take... and why did you call your show, you had 2 shows in Vicar Street, why did you call it Great Lad instead of Grand Lad?
That was, the first show was Great Lad. I called it that because when I was in school, I talk about it in the show, if you anything you did that was outside the norm, you'd be scoffed at me. Great lad. Oh, anything at all. So I was like, when they hear that I've got a stand-up show, a tour, they'd be like, Jerry McGann is a stand-up show. Great lad. I was like, free marketing. I call it Great Lad. Free marketing. And then the second one's no. So that's just because it's if you say it and the audience don't like it, just go,
no.
Oh,
and then you win them back over. So I said that at the start of the show, and then you get a laugh every time. And if you say something doesn't get a laugh, they just go, no. Yeah. And then everyone's like, and they think that they're having a great time.
It must be hard to go out on stage on your own and just like, you're going out cold really to an audience, isn't it?
It's horrible, yeah.
Do you be shitting yourself going out, yeah?
Absolutely. I don't like it that much. No, it's horrible. It's a penance. It really is. It's a penance.
Is it? Imagine.
But it spurs you on to do well, because if you get out there and you're just miserable all day, dreading it's pit in your stomach, and then you get out there and then you don't have a good time out there, and then the audience don't have a good time, then you're like, well, why am I doing this at all? Because I don't even get the enjoyment. Some people get the enjoyment just of like going out there and just having a good. I'm like, I suffer through that. So I'm like, at least if the audience need to have a good time. So I had Vicar Street there, and it was amazing. It was incredible. It was the best, one of the best nights of my life.
And why is that? Did you get good hackles or something from the audience, or
no? I didn't.
You feed off them. You obviously feed off them.
I do and I don't. I don't love heckles. I don't love audience interaction in general. I like a good.
I'm so happy you're doing this.
Here's the things that I've written down that I'm going to say to you all.
Yeah.
And you will all laugh at the places I want you to laugh. That's my dream. But obviously you get heckles. Like I did Monroe's in Galway there the other week, and it was a great show, but it was a bank holiday Saturday as well. So there's a few lads. They just want to be your friend. They're there. They've a few shandies taken, and they just want to be your friend and talk to you as though you're right in front of them there, as opposed to on a stage and they're up in the back. So that can be troublesome. But
who was your legends? Who did you admire? Who were you into?
For an Irish lad who was like, had never seen really stand-up comedy before, and loved comedy and watching comedy shows. See Tommy Tiernan, early Tommy Tiernan TV and stuff.
Oh, it was brilliant.
To this day, I think, but I'll catch myself it's like, geez, that sounds like something Tommy would say. Not in terms of like how funny it is, but like just in how he'd say it or how he'd phrase it or something.
Yeah.
So I think he's.
But you do get inspiration. Like I get inspiration from chefs, and it's not or books. It's not necessarily you're not copying them at all. It's just that you just love their style. So it's obviously your style as well, and just like
completely. Yeah. And it's with the sketches. Like I'll watch old Unbelievable sketches or like the League of Gentlemen and stuff like that. Stuff where I've watched them a million times, but haven't necessarily, they're not in the forefront of my mind. Then I watch them and I'm like, geez, I owe them so much. I've taken so much from them, or the way they come at an idea, or the way they come at a character, or a turn of phrase and stuff. It's like, or how how they get a joke across, the structure of how their jokes are. Like, oh, geez, that's all stuff that I just soaked into me as a kid, and then it's kind of coming out unconsciously. But that's the kind of cool thing about creativity, and is that it's not just this thing that happens very few of us are just comes to us completely naturally, and that's how we do it. It's like it's all been absorbed into us by other places, and it's this nice living organism, I think.
And it's the Irishness of Tommy Tiernan and Unbelievables, and it's the capturing of that you love, that you want, isn't it really, that you do well?
Exactly. And I think people learn the wrong lessons from like John Kenny, Pat Short, like Tommy and stuff, where it's like a lot of the stuff, and like it does well and people like it, so who might say, but like a lot of it is very like, do you remember when? It's like, just there's like, do you remember this used to happen in school? And everyone's like, or who here likes fizzy 7-Up? And I think that even Tommy railed against that from even before that became a thing. It was like, the Irish aren't my gas.
Yeah.
I came home, I was so drunk, I put the rashers in the toaster.
Yeah.
And he was making fun of that, like kind of backslappy kind of thing. But I think there is a good streak of Irish humour that is just that, which people like it or whatever.
No, not at all. But his humour is so country.
Exactly, yeah. It's and it feels like it's come out of the earth or something. It's wild.
Yeah.
Do you find now that everything's so PC that you really need to be careful on?
No. I think I saw a good quote today where it's like, you can still say anything you want. Comedy, you can still say whatever you want, but it's like certain comedians can't, because they're not equipped for it. They don't word it in the right way or whatever, and then they get uptight about, you're coming for me because of this, that, the other. I'd say mad stuff, and it's generally fine. I've not heard too much pushback. Yeah. It's just how you kind of use it, or how you phrase it, or how you target it. I think I don't have a lot of patience for comedians that'll be like, geez, you can't say it anymore, PC. It's like, well, just find a different way to say it.
Yeah,
And then, you know, your job is to do that. Your job is not to complain about.
Fair
Do you
enough.
feel under pressure, like having to be funny? It's just like,
Yeah.
'cause sometimes it's just like you're naturally funny anyways. And I think sometimes people try too hard to be funny.
Yeah, I think people. I think I'm allergic to. Just speaking just for myself, going out there. I don't go out there all big and like loud and thing. Where some comedians you just need to do that. You need to do that to kind of grab attention. And I'm like, even if I don't grab everyone's attention, I need to feel like I am being funny rather than I am owning the room. I think which is. I don't know, maybe I'll change my tune over the next while, but
No, that's lovely attitude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
it's just kind of like I'll go out there and whoever likes it, whoever doesn't.
I think that's probably the right attitude though, because I think it's like, you know, when you start off first and you've got directors directing you and stuff like that, and they're trying to change you,
Yeah.
you're kind of going, well, that's not me. This is me. And did you hear that, Patrick?
Yeah.
So you just have to be yourself. I think you're better off. It's safer.
I will say I do have the benefit of like doing the online stuff. I've acted in stuff, so I have more of a. People have seen. I know that people like a persona or thing that I don't necessarily feel the need to go out. Whereas if you're just gigging live all the time, everything is in that moment, in the moment of going on stage. So you're like, I need to bring everyone on board. I need to go out there and maybe not be myself or be kind of put on this persona. Whereas I know that some people like what I'm doing off stage. So it's like I'm pretty confident that if I go out, I'll be all right for the most part.
Before we go on to our quick fire questions, we have to obviously mention your latest movie. Or not movie, your latest Sky Atlantic venture.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Small Town Big Story. Is there another one coming or what's happening?
I wait to hear. You know,
Yeah.
you don't know these things until you're told. Especially the likes of me, low down on the costume. I am. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a beautiful show, and it teed itself up for a second series.
Dude,
so
yeah.
like, I can only hope. But again, I'm the last one to know. I feel like TV shows these days, you know. There's always like 5 years between seasons or
Yeah.
something. Look at all the big ones. So I'm like, who knows?
It doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
No.
And how long were you filming for?
It was a few months of filming.
Yeah.
I was on and off. I'd come in for a few days, go away for a week, then come back in. But overall, it was a couple of months, and it was the best job ever. It was
Was it so
Enjoy it.
exciting?
Yeah.
So to be fair, acting or stand-up?
Acting.
Yeah.
It was what I was doing before the stand-up, and in one way or another, acting and writing and stuff like that. So, but the stand-up is amazing. But it's I definitely feel more comfortable at the other stuff. Whereas the stand-up, it's proper. Like, geez, okay, I have to think about this and am I even good to have a long dark nights of the soul about the stand-up more so than the others.
So we're going to go on to your quickfire
No.
section if you're ready.
I am.
So, Tato or King?
Oh, Tato.
Yeah. Oh, Tato, really?
All day long.
Because you're from Wicklow.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Like, the King are good, but I came to them later. I didn't trust them or something. I didn't know, but a Tato is just, when you get a good packet of Tato,
Yeah, it's fresh.
it's fresh. Like, I will say, this might get me extra light. Tato can be hit and miss, but when it hits, there's nothing better.
Yes.
Are you cheese and onion or
No,
something?
salt vinegar.
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Every time.
Jeez, wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Really?
No, I thought you were cheese and onion.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that
Would you
one?
have-
The onion heading you.
Would you have-
Cheesy bastard, yeah.
Ketchup, tomato ketchup or Ballymaloo?
Ketchup.
Yeah.
I love the relish, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but
You know, I'm
ketchup
not
is the
gonna
one.
put it on-
Do you have a favourite pub? Have you thought about this one? Tell us your favourite pub.
Favourite pub.
Yeah.
Many. I mean, I'm where I am, not to give away my location, but there's Ryan's and Sandymount is a super boozer now.
Do they do a toasty? Or is it just
I'm gonna
pints?
say they do a crap toasty.
So a great pint. Great pint.
But
The
think
sun
I
is
know
out.
it.
yeah, I know.
Could be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit outside.
So your food heaven.
Yeah.
Food heaven. You've already been in heaven a few times. You've had seafood chowder today in a bowl. What else is your food heaven?
Food heaven is definitely some kind of pasta dish like spaghetti vongole or any kind of seafood pasta dish shellfish and spaghetti.
Is the
like
seafood
that.
coming because of Wicklow, is it?
No, I don't know. I was never, and I'm not a mad fan of whitefish on its own or whatever.
Yeah.
I like it never appeals to me on a menu in a restaurant or anything like that. But shellfish I'd eat like prawns I'd eat every day, mussels I'd eat every day. They are it's its own thing. I just love them so much.
So do you have a food hell? Is there something that you go, no thanks, or you walk into a house and you're going, damn it, I'm having that for dinner.
But I've had to conquer this because I've got a baby.
Your wife
now.
loves it.
No, she actually does. Porridge, like turns my stomach.
Does
it?
But I'm kind of
That's
over. I'm
hilarious.
not going to eat it, but like I can make it no bother now for Sophie. But
Oh,
remember, I used to come down in the morning, going to school, where Mum would have made porridge for herself, and like I'd have to hold my breath because I would be like gagging if it smelled. I hate it, and I'm a little bit better with it now. I'm working my way up to maybe.
Do you
try
put
it.
cream in or anything
Oh my
like
God.
that?
No, I
Listen,
like this.
that's
is
your
it.
problem.
That's yeah.
Throw a bit of cream into
Okay,
it.
okay.
Make it looser.
See, I need that's it.
Yeah,
I need
it
the
gets
psychological.
it all kind of-
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
jeez, yeah.
so that's funny that you couldn't like porridge because it doesn't smell of anything.
It does.
Does it?
Oh my God, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe my
Does to you.
my
Does to
mate
you.
it smelled.
Yeah.
Not now. Yeah. Now. For some reason, it's grand to make it for your child. Because like, well, you have to keep her alive, so you better treat it. So,
Get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people have salt in porridge.
Yeah, so that's that brings out the smell.
The smell, that brings out the smell.
But if you with porridge with cream in it, oh my God, gorgeous!
Okay,
And maple syrup.
He's not,
It's
yeah.
just-
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's.
pretend
even
it's
like-
I should have some porridge today.
Stewed apples even in it.
And do you food faux pas or a food mishap that you can think of?
Well, I've told this story before, but I was at a wedding, my friend's wedding, and it was one of those like coming out of lockdown weddings. So it was feral.
nuts.
It was feral. I was in Doolin and came down. I had to be dragged up to the day two. They had a buffet going. The people I was staying with, they were like, "Get in the car. If we leave you here, you won't get up." So I came up and I had a pint and slowly come back to life. Queued up for the buffet. Saw a big bowl of potato salad. I was like, "Oh, that'll cure me now." Cold, carbs, everything there.
Yeah.
Now. So I got the scooper, lobbed on. The whole plate was just potato salad and maybe a bit of something else. I sat down with everyone around the table, put the spoon in, and just the spoon went right in, and it was just mayonnaise. I just got up to a bowl of mayonnaise and turned up to, and I felt like crying. I was that hungover. I was like, come on!
Oh,
But everyone rinsed me for it. To this day, still rinse me for it.